believe we're live now.
I believe, yes, and yes, we are.
Hi Tanya, hi community, dear community, family and friends. We're back today and excited to be here with you, and it happens that we can also be physically together because guess what? We just be reopened since this weekend, so we're very excited to be out there again and meet our community that we miss so much. And we are today to speak about a very crucial topic. First of all, Tanya is with us today, and she's a professional that has been working with us for years now, and I'm honored to have her on board. She's a holistic healer, and she has so much to offer to the community. And it happened that the topic of today has been chosen by Tanya over a beautiful conversation that we had. And it happens that there is a story behind it. So the topic of today is grief. It is a very, very deep topic. And there wouldn't be anybody better than Tanya to speak about it today, as she has a story to tell you. So I'll give her the voice now to share her story.
Thank you, Nabila. Thank you for the community. Thank you for everybody for being here today. As we are here physically and online with you, and I find grief so important to talk about. I find that grief has been touching all of us in so many ways. But this story for me particularly, this is my story where I started to see grief from a different perspective. Now, before we even get started, I want to talk to you, and I want you to not mix your story with mine or somebody else's, because we all grieve differently.
Absolutely.
And we can just share and be there for each other, but your journey might be different than mine. In April, I have lost my husband, my partner, and it absolutely shattered me. It was not that easy. It broke my heart. While I knew about grief, and while I've experienced grief as we all did, this was a little bit different. And as you know, in April, this was actually during lockdown. So there was other things that played facts to it as well. And the reason I want to talk to you about this now is because I know right now all of us are feeling a little bit of grief of one way or another, but a lot of us are actually not aware that it's grief that we're feeling. And as we come back and get ready to step into some sort of what normality was, we're grieving what our life used to be, the things that we're used to. So whether you've been affected by this because of a loss of somebody, because of a breakup, because of a loss of a certain life, just hear us out, ask us questions. Particularly at the end,
interact. But we're gonna have a Q&A session at the end, the last 10 minutes. But don't hesitate to write down your questions, and we'll attend them as soon as possible. So how challenging was it for you to live this experience during the lockdown? How was it for you?
If I'm absolutely honest, I think you and I have spoken about this. If I'm absolutely honest, for me personally, the lockdown has been a bit of a gift. But it's been, a sword with like two edges, right? I was blessed enough that I have moved into a building that my sister lives in. Because when I got the news, there was no visitations, nothing. I remember some of my family and friends were trying to take permits to come and see me, but those permits were denied. But I had my sister in the building, so things always, even when they're really, really, really bad, somehow work out. But what happened is, what I noticed is the lockdown forced me, because even though I'm a spiritual person, even though I'm a holistic healer, I tried to run away from it. I did everything I could. And when you first get the news, it's, the correct term is shock.
Yeah, which brings this numbness, right?
Which brings this numbness, but I wouldn't even call it shock. It's shock beyond shock. Parts of you literally just leaves you, which is actually another gift, because without it, you wouldn't be able to go to the next level or to the next moment. But the lockdown was a gift, because people who wanted to reach out did reach out. I got a lot of love. Oh my God, my students were sending me so much love, even food. There were so many angels that people were sending that I couldn't even walk into the apartment without going, excuse me. But when I needed to just step away, I could just put my phone down, because it got to a point, the first week and a half, 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep. My husband passed away in Australia, and the time difference, so I had to be up at 2 in the morning to communicate with the Australian family. But at night I can't, you just can't sleep, because night is just a very interesting time. And yeah, see, it's you never actually get over it. You learn to deal with it. So this is the tip that I want to tell you. The lockdown for me was a gift. It made me honor my feelings. It made me honor my husband, to think about what to do, to think about how I'm feeling at the moment, to have that time alone. And now what I'm experiencing with things slowly opening up is I'm experiencing I don't want to go out. And this is what made me think about everybody else. I'm not ready to go out. I'm not ready to leave my sanctuary, my little monastery that I built with myself, with my angels, with my plants, and I have a bird nest. But we have to choose life, yeah? We have to choose life. So no matter what it is that we're scared of, no matter what it is that we don't want to face, that's changed, that isn't in our life anymore, we're brave. And we have the tools. And we know that we are loved and supported, so we can do it, right?
Absolutely. I was coming to ask you about how the tools has helped you.
Yeah.
How is it for you as a practitioner, having all the tools within your hands?
Oof, that was interesting.
How helpful was that?
It was truly life-saving. Because here's what it is. The first thing you need to choose, you need to make a choice. You need to make a choice not to necessarily be a victim. You need to make a choice to live, which, can I tell you, was the hardest choice. And I remember looking at my tattoo, which I got with my husband when he took me to Palestine for the first time, and thinking, I'm a bad toot. I can do this. I choose life. Look, I have proof that I'm a bad toot. I choose life. But then, that wasn't enough. Then I had to do the hardest thing ever in the world. Then I had to actually live. Which, yes, that was not easy. And I had to remember all the tools that I had. They saved my life. When this first happened, a part of my soul literally just popped out of my body, and that was good. I remember my sister and her partner said to me, you're going to walk the dog. We'll do everything for you, but you are going to walk the dog. You need to do this, which was a gift. So I put on my mask, and I walked Mashawi, my dog, and I would see, because I was out of my body, I was able to see things in a different view. I was able to hear the birds sing. I just was in the moment, looking for blessings. I dreamt of my husband, and he came and gave me a message. He said, Tanya, we're going to play a game, you and me, okay? I made this treasure hunt, and I hid blessings for you everywhere. So you're going to go and find them. So I promised myself every day I'm going to go and find the blessings. So being in the moment really helped me. When I got the news on the same day, the community, the Dr. Joe community, the Theta Healing community, the Just Be community, my friends were really there, and I just had a session right away. Then I was accused that I'm trying to heal too soon or heal too slow. You know, everybody has an opinion. There's no too soon or too fast, all right? You're just in the right speed for you. I have to be honest with you. I couldn't remember how to meditate. I couldn't remember how to connect. I would sit there and meditate, but my mind, I was not meditating. But I was just sitting there. And then I remembered I need to be in my body. So the first and most important tool was to scan. I started scanning myself just so I can feel my body, so I can bring myself back into my body. And then I started a longer meditation, a 30-minute meditation, to where I go into every chakra. At least spend 4-7 minutes, even if I'm not fully there, just to come back into my body. Because I could start feeling, you know, my anger started acting up, my throat, the rashes. You could tell exactly what I was experiencing every day just by looking at my body, even the way I walked. So that was the first most important tool. One of the people that were supporting me is from the Dr. Joe community, and she said to me, Tanya, you cannot meditate on a volcano.
Absolutely.
And this is a very important piece. Do meditate, but honor your feelings. We can't just live in denial, right?
Yeah, you cannot meditate in front of a tsunami. You just need to first save your life before,
right?
Making sense of it spiritually. You are a human being living a 3D reality, and you need to honor what your body is feeling right now.
Absolutely. Which was probably the hardest thing. This is what was happening to me, and I think you and I spoke about this. I had this fight. There was my soul and my human body. My soul knew that death is nothing to be afraid of or sad about, that death is something absolutely beautiful. I knew that my beautiful husband was in a beautiful place, and that he was happy, and that he was good. I knew that, and that I could connect with him no matter what. But then comes my beautiful physical body, which is here to master this beautiful physical illusion. But my physical body, my DNA was literally grieving him and missing him. And it was hurting. It was truly, truly, truly hurting. And there was this fight of, vibrations up, down. How am I feeling? Am I a soul? Am I awakening? Or am I a body? Or who am I? What's happening? And that is, yeah.
And why is this happening to me? Why now?
Why? What could I have done? And you go through the stages of grief, which can I tell you? You're going to have to go through them. You can do it the easy way or the hard way. And I'm still going through them, and people think that grief is like this, that it's linear, that you go, okay, I've done now shock, I'm in denial, now I'm going to move on to anger. No, it doesn't work that way. Every time.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster.
I finally get to bargaining, and I say, oh, thank God, thank you, Creator. I'm in bargaining. I'm done with the anger and denial. 5 minutes later, I'm back into denial. I've done my forgiveness, and boof, anger, which is something else I had to honor. Honor your anger. Don't become it. Honor the emotions. Really, really honor the emotions, but don't become the emotion. You need to release the trauma. We need to release the trauma. Honor it, understand it, let go of it without becoming it.
And I love that. Actually, it was one of the break, break free moment, aha moment, breakthrough moment, where about the anger, about allowing it to be and not judging yourself when it comes. And the more you try to manage your anger, the stronger the anger becomes. Whereas all this anger is voices of us that hasn't been attended, that hasn't been heard, and needs time to be and be allowed and accepted to be, to release then the emotions, and then we can then manage the anger, because the more we love our anger, the less the anger becomes intense.
It really is. It really is. I mean, I'm not saying live in anger, don't get me wrong, but if it wasn't for my anger, there's so many things I wouldn't have sometimes wouldn't have even been able to get up and do things. It was almost, my anger was killing me, and anger is not an emotion that I'm normally comfortable with. So I had to go and buy this box from my husband's birthday. I decided to celebrate, because I believe in celebrating life. I believe in celebrating everything, right? So I bought his favorite cake. We had his favorite things. And
did it happen during the lockdown as well?
Yes.
My goodness.
During the lockdown as well. It was a few days before his 1-month anniversary, death anniversary, that is. And one of my students has this company where you buy things and you just smash them. So I ordered the box for me, my sister, and her partner, and we just smashed and smashed just to let go of some of that anger. There are healthy ways, but understand it, honor it. It's when we try to hide from it, exactly like you were saying, it's meditating with a volcano again.
Absolutely.
Don't live in the anger, but yeah, wow, right? Yeah, so, what's happening to you?
I actually thank you, Tanya, for doing this, because I know how it is a challenge for you, because I love your vulnerability. And I'm loving that you're sharing it with me first and with the community. And we're coming from a space of being out there for you as human beings before the professionals that we are. And to say that, hey, this happens to all of us and we're all in this together. And that's where we're coming from, to engage and say that we are all concerned, we are all living our moments, our transformations, our challenges, and that's where we're learning from. And the intention is to be able to share that in order to make you less alone in whatever journey you're going through, and share the experience that we're going through and the learnings especially. So what are you learning from this, Tanya?
I'm still learning. I'm so glad. Right, I'm so glad you said learning, because it's, what a learning.
What are your learnings, and what can be the learnings that you could share as a professional to all those who are grieving, as you're saying, grieving lives that they have lost, changes that they have never chosen to change and accept. Life is right now changing constantly, and we're not all prepared for this change. So, what are the learnings you'd like to share, please?
I'm going to try to go in order, but forgive me, I might not be in order.
Just go with the flow.
I think the day I got the news, the first learning, which was, I always talk about this, and I always thought I believed in it, and I did believe in it. But there's learning something, and then there's learning something.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is free will. Free will. In everything, in every person, in every decision, in every moment, there is free will. Then with that, once we really, really respect my free will, your free will, and everybody's free will, especially now when we go back and integrate back into the society, then comes really unconditional love. And unconditional love, is, I'm very heartbroken that my husband passed away, but I still love him, and that is unconditional love. Even when somebody does something that you don't agree with and that hurts you, you still love them. That was the second lesson. And unconditional love for everybody else. When I catch myself being angry with myself, I was angry with everybody. I was angry, oh my God. I was angry with cigarettes. Yes, I did say the word cigarettes in a holistic center. I did. My husband was a smoker, and at one point I'm like, it's the cigarettes. I was angry with everything. So forgive yourself for being angry. Also, the big learning was that morning when I woke up before I got the news, I had this ridiculous feeling. I was worried, and I knew, but I didn't know, because I don't know how to explain it. I thought I didn't know until I was looking back at what I was working, and I saw. I was working on my fears, and when my fear was my husband will die. But of course, mercy, I didn't see it. But I woke up very irritated. And I thought that one of my friends was somehow telling me that I was high maintenance and that I was needy. So I sat and worked on myself on being needy. It turns out I had to work on that, because the biggest learning for me was to receive. To receive from my friends, from my family, from my community, from my students. To accept and ask for help, and be aware, watch yourself. If you find yourself hesitant to ask for help, it's probably a sign that there's an old unhealed trauma, and this was something within me that only got healed now.
Because it's the time for it.
Because it's the perfect time for it. And I needed to work on myself, because, oh my God, I needed that help. I needed that support. The other big lesson is to trust ourselves. I saw when finally I was able to connect and work more and more on myself and allow others to work on me, I saw that one of the lessons was that my husband was telling me that he trusted me. He trusted me to live, to go on, and to live well. And that's not necessarily something, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not something you necessarily want to hear when you're grieving, when your heart is broken. You always want to go,
I want this to stop now.
But so learn to trust yourself, to trust the universe that things are going to be okay. Learn to live, and really, really, really the small things. I took on, my husband's last name is Plants, so I've been having the need to plant. I was never a planter personally, and I was focusing on the small things. I was planting and seeing a plant sprout. I had birds build a nest in my balcony, and now I'm waiting for little chicks any minute. Just focus on the moment. I learned to just find gratitude in the moment. On the physical things, wake up, do your bed, wake up, make your bed, wake up, clean up, just a small routine. And listen to your body. Honor it, take care of this beautiful body, take care of it, love it, eat well, sleep well. We need to sleep. Because you know, when a trauma like this happens, first of all, we as you know, Nabila, we hold a sorrow in our lungs. So a lot of things that happen in our lungs, it's because of sorrow that we don't let go of. And grief is a gift that we have to honor the relationships and the people and the experiences that we have, the lives that we have. But sometimes it's so scary and painful to be in that grief. But when we honor it, we just let go of it. But when also the grief happens, we are in that state of flight and flight. We are in very states of high alert, and therefore if we don't rest at night, if we don't sleep, eat well, our immunity system starts to drop. And I caught that with myself. But it's so tempting not to care. It's so tempting to say, because it's so hard to actually, being alive is one thing, but living is another.
And also when the emotions are there, because I believe that one of the most challenging part of falling asleep and finding sleep is when the emotions are so strong that we're restless in it, right?
The emotions.
And also to allow that to be when this happens. And I think one big thing is not to control or try to actually have anything, to being kind to yourself and accepting anything that comes up, because that's the thing to attend at that particular moment.
You know, one of my colleagues that was working with me gave me the best advice. She said, I'm going to share that with you. She said, Tanya, find a grieving buddy. Right now, find a grieving buddy. Give yourself a timeout. Say, okay, let them know, by the way. Let them know that they're your grieving buddy, so you're not just putting things on them, because that's not fair, right? So they know that, hey, they're going to hold space.
Yeah, we're in team in that.
Right?
Yeah.
It is a team. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's me. And just let them know. And then give yourself time, you know? Or let your grieving buddy do that. Hey, Tanya, you have 30 minutes or an hour every day or every once a week, whatever's right for you. And you can feel sorry for yourself. You can feel like a victim. You can be angry. After that,
switch to,
switch, because we are human. And I'm so grateful. I've had so much support from everybody, and I have one of my buddies. I actually didn't tell her she was my grieving buddy. So do as I say, not as I do. But having that support, somebody to be absolutely vulnerable with, because vulnerability is key. Vulnerability is everything. You know, we want to feel like we are an evolved soul, but being evolved is going through this. Being vulnerable is strength. And so be vulnerable, guys. Don't be afraid. Know who to trust and be vulnerable. Be you. You're wonderful. Right?
And what would be if the take on, in terms of, if you are to give a self-help toolbox right now? I know it's a tough one, because as you're going through the process, but let's go beyond the experience you're going through, but to grieve life, or to grieve the losses that we're going through, to the old life that we left, but not knowing what's new and what's coming up next. What would be, as a professional, those tools that has helped you, are still helping you so far, that can help our community and all the people that are sharing our moments right now?
I really hope they help you. So off the top of my head, the first rule, well, I call it rule. The first tip is please, before you do anything, be kind to yourself. Be absolutely kind to yourself. It all starts within you. Be kind to yourself. Be honest with yourself. And this is not as easy as it sounds, right? Because it's almost, you're the scariest person sometimes to be honest with. We have this image of ourselves, but the more you're honest with yourself, the more you'll see that you're absolutely wonderful and worth falling in love with, and you're falling in love with yourself. I would really recommend just taking it step by step. When you're honest with yourself, you will know if you're in trauma. You will know if you're grieving, because like I said, a lot of us don't know that we're grieving. You will allow yourself the time. There's no timeline. There's no right or wrong. You know, you know, the other thing about grief is people are sometimes uncomfortable around grief. It's not personal. They don't know how to deal with it. I'm grieving right now, and I don't always know how to deal with other people who are grieving outside of a professional session or class. So know that things are not personal. Allow yourself every emotion, and don't feel like if you go back to a certain emotion that you're taking a step back. Know that that's normal, that the grieving process is not like this, but it's this and that, and going back and forth, and that is okay.
And it's a unique process,
and
right?
It's a unique process.
Yeah, and you need to live that uniqueness throughout. There is no rules, there is no right and wrong. There's just going through the experience. Because the experience, no matter how painful it is, brought awareness, and it's there for you because the universe knows, God knows that if it gives you that experience, it's because you know how to come out of it and survive through it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And oh my God, I love what you just said. Absolutely.
So the gears are within yourself.
The gears are within yourself.
So it's a unique way, and yes, sharing. Yes, there are tools out there, but there is also your heart telling you what it needs the most at that particular moment, and allow yourself to be yourself in that unique moment, whatever comes.
And listen to your heart. Don't live up here. This is the brain that will then get everything in coherence. Listen to your heart. Honor it. Listen to it. You kept saying to me, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. And reach out. Know that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
You're not alone. We're here virtually with you. We're sharing our stories.
I'm actually going on the laptop
to see
check
if there are any questions.
Because we can't read your question, guys. I can see that there's a lot of people waving out there, but there's something. Oh, iPhone storage.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, there we go.
There we are.
Just trying to read the comments. A lot of grieving buddy. Thank you, Corina, for clapping at us. Loading the comments. What's more in your toolbox?
What's more like, yeah, we had the forgive me moments of silence. I strongly recommend you meditate. Don't meditate in a volcano. You know what I can do? What I love when it comes to emotion, talk to that emotion. Because the emotion is never just the surfacing emotion. Know that you got this, that you're brave. When you're feeling a bit of anxiety or sadness or just a resistance of moving forwards, just sit there and talk to that emotion. What are you trying to tell me? Even if it's a pain in your body, what are you trying to tell me? Give yourself a break and learn to forgive yourself. Learn to move forward and to let go of the old life. Also know I had this big fear of my husband being forgotten. And then I realized that he was never going to be forgotten because he's part of who I am. He's the reason of everything that I am. And for the past 10 years, the reason I'm here talking to you, the reason I came on this journey, so every time I live, every time I talk, every time I love or do a healing thing, he's with me. Same thing applies. It's not just about death. Keep in mind that your genetics, your DNA grieves the people. So also allow this beautiful body time to heal and to grieve, and be kind to it. Yeah. So, I think there's no questions, right?
No, not as such. There's a lot of encouragement.
Thank you.
But
so, before we go, I would love to give some downloads, or is there something else that you wanted?
We're good. Yeah.
So
you shared so much. Thank you, Tanya. So. More beyond sharing her experience that we're all learning from, Tanya came up with her big heart to offer download to share with the community today. So please, I'm ready to receive.
I just want you to say yes. You can say yes silently or put a yes only thing so I can give them to you. Do I have your permission to download you all in every single cell of your body for the best and highest in every language ever spoken? That you know what it feels like to be courageous and brave without having to bring out all your fears? That you know what it feels like to go back into your life and into the rhythm of your life without being stuck in the past and without feeling like you're dishonoring your past by beautiful future. Would you like to know that you are safe to create and you know how to create? That you can trust yourself? Would you like to know that you've got this? That you're a magnificent being? That you know how to let go of anger and resentment? You know how to honor your feelings and then let them go without having to relive the traumas? Would you like to know that you know how to honor your body and listen to your body? Would you like to know that you're a beautiful being inside and out and that you know what it feels like to be safe and to have security? Just say yes if you want these. And I would like your permission to send you all unconditional love for every single cell of your beautiful bodies. And just say yes if you would like them. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya.
We also have the meditation.
Yes. So, moreover, after the live, we felt to share with the community a meditation facilitated by Tanya around this topic, the grief. So tell us more about it.
So we're going to channel most of it on the day, to be honest. But what I'd like to do is, I believe it's on the 7th of this month, the 7th of June. On the 7th of June, we'll get together here from 5 p.m. till 6:30. Now, we have social distancing here, so there's limited numbers. But we're also going to stream it live, so don't worry, we're with you no matter where you are. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our grief, we're going to honor our grief, and then in the meditation, just allow ourselves to just release some of it and give you the tools to slowly start releasing grief at your own pace for your best and highest in the way that's best for you, right? So contact Just Be if you'd like to sign up, and they'll send you the Zoom link. It'll be done.
Yeah, so we'll organize it for you. It's out there on our Facebook page, Instagram, and don't hesitate to reach out to get more information. And stay tuned always.
Yeah.
It's been an honor to have you, Tanya, today. Learning so much from your experience, and thank you for sharing it at this early stage of the experience.
Yeah.
I really admire your courage. I'm so, I love you for the way you are as a person, as a professional, and to holding the space for yourself in such a moment, and yet finding the time to hold the space for all of us and the community is an honor. So thank you, community, for being there, and I hope you benefited from this little beautiful cherishable time. And for more to come in the upcoming few weeks, stay tuned, and much love to all of you. Bye. Thank you.